Hi, this is a sort of a video response to a really good YouTube channel, The Real Mithril. She's a subscriber of mine that I went and checked out, and she's from Scotland, and solid silver scenery. It's really cool. She does some pretty good stuff, and she made these little books, which I thought was a really good idea, and so I had a little bit of a play around. And so this is a bit of a video response to just say a few little things that I found might be helpful to producing even nice little books. Now, the first thing you're going to need is a good cup of coffee, and lots of paper. Now, she used a magazine with a spine that did not have the staples in it. I found that in my pile of magazines I didn't have any of those, so what are we going to do? Now, I have some printer friends who gave me a few tips in past years, and you can still use a magazine that is not bound. Instead of using the staple side of it, use the other side of it. Now, what you can do is you can take your polyvinyl acetate glue, your white glue, and you can take the edge of it and apply some glue to it, nice and thick, and you're going to smear it on there so that when it dries, that is actually going to give you a spine. So now you can use magazines that are cheap and nasty and not your nice glossy ones. Now, when it has dried, you take your ruler and your knife, and you've got to cut right through all of the layers, and that's going to take quite a few passes, but it will go through. And then once you've cut that off, you can then start cutting your individual books. And it's nice to cut a whole bunch of different sized and shaped ones, and you'll find that you may find that they split, and that's fine because you'll get different sized and shapes of books, and you just open it up and snap them off, and you're going to get a whole different bunch, some fat, some skinny, and if you want to, you can join a few back together again. The next thing to do is take a piece of paper and some glue, and then take one of your books and stick it on there, and you're basically going to be putting a cover on it at the same time as reinforcing that spine there, so that when it dries, I'll try and rush through it, and then you can slice off the excess paper, and the fact that you have glued the paper to the other paper, that makes a slightly thicker cover on your book. Now you can paint the book cover. I'm doing this very rapidly. You really need to let it dry properly, but you're going to get your little book like that. Now, if you want a magazine, you can take a thinner lot, and you can find a picture in your magazine or some lady for the cover of your magazine, and we're going to have like a Vanities or a woman's type of magazine here, and then I'm going to make sure that she is going to be sticking on the front cover of my book, and have it wrap right around. Then trim it off per usual. And I'm now going to have my woman's magazine with the lovely, wonderful cover. And there I can add that to my collection of magazines that I have already. And another one you can do is I've used, instead of paper, I've used cardboard, and I've put a little band around there, a clasp, to do that one. Now to do a hard cover on this, we're going to take a little booklet, find which the spine is, and the spine is on this side here, and then we're going to take some card that I have cut, and then I'm going to glue it onto both sides, running the glue. My bottle's running out. Put my glue on there on both sheets, and I'm going to glue it down, running it down the side of the spine, one on each side. Oops. One down this side and the one on top. Because what I'm going to do is then trim the cardboard just a fraction of a millimeter, half a millimeter or so, out from the actual pages, because a normal book does that, a normal hard-covered book. I'm just making sure that the back spine is also trimmed, and repeat it with the other side as well. Run it down the spine of the book, turn it over, then trim it the same as the other one. It's starting to rain here. So now we have it protruding a little bit. And then I'm going to take a coloured piece of paper that I painted and put some glue on that, and pay particular attention to the spine of the book. Find out which side that is. It opens there. That's the spine side there. And I'm going to put it face down on there, just to make sure it gets there properly, and then wrap it round. And when I open up my little book, I'm going to do the same thing as with the card. Trim that out just about a millimeter out from the actual border of the cardboard. It's preferable if you let it dry. In fact, I think I might do that. Hard to cut it when it's damp. And you're going to then, on the corners, cut them off diagonally. When you bend it over, we're going to trim it off there. Now we're going to then get right back to the first page, to the cover, and then glue it and fold it over. Also making a slot at the spine so that it doesn't come off, and that should fold over very neatly and tidily and precisely, hopefully. Do that to the other side also. So now, eventually, with a bit of painting and things, you can have once it dries, of course, you can have your hard-covered book. And so there we are. We can glue a few together to make a bit of a library bookshelf. There's the one with the clasp on it, our hard-covered ones, some magazines, and just general books all told.
Have fun making little books.